Welcome to your reading, folks. I've laid out your cards already, and I've already shuffled. You've got the Queen of Cups, the World, the King of Cups in reverse, and the Star. Somebody in the Queen of Cups has separated from a King of Cups in reverse, and I say separated because here we have the World card. Somebody has transitioned away, and with the World, the figure in the World, looking back at the Queen of Cups, I'm wondering if it isn't this Queen of Cups who has separated from this King of Cups. I'm feeling emotional immaturity from this King of Cups. This might be an internal process within you. It might be. But in this particular case, I'm feeling like somebody has separated from somebody else. A divorce, quite possibly, has occurred here, and because there's so much water energy, I might be speaking to a Pisces. Why am I getting Leo or Sagittarius? Perhaps a Pisces, perhaps a Cancer sign, and I'm going to remember the other water sign when you need the water signs most. But somebody with watery energy is going through a divorce right here, and that time of healing has started. You or somebody has transitioned into a time of healing after this can be a deeply abusive card. In the Thoth Tarot tradition, the King of Cups is a combination of water and fire, a volatile combination, and in reverse, or it can be a volatile combination when in reverse, and I can see that here. You might have transitioned out of an abusive situation. And the third water sign that I missed out on was Scorpio. So Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, you might be going through a moment where you are divorcing from somebody that you didn't expect to see. You didn't expect to get divorced from, I should say. And now the work begins on something new entirely. You're going to start exploring something that you haven't had the space, emotionally speaking, even the time. You haven't had the time to explore this particular option. Maybe this is a new project. Maybe this is something that you've always wanted to do that you haven't gotten to do because this King of Cups took up so much of your time and energy. And maybe you had a really draining job. And that's what this could also be about. Now, I did hear divorce. I did hear emotional immaturity to a certain degree, but this could be an emotionally abusive job. I frequently associate kings with the emperor, which is largely based in career, speaks to somebody's career. So maybe you've let go of an emotionally abusive job, and now it's time to explore perhaps self-employment, perhaps starting your own business, getting into a partnership with someone who you met at your emotionally abusive job, and the two of you said, let's do this on our own, but together, right? We can do this better. You do have a number of choices to make as you explore your new territory. And it may not be easy necessarily to see your way forward. With the clouds and the Seven of Cups, and again, more water energy, it's not always easy to see what each of the cups are hiding in terms of their consequences. There are some good things, and there are some bad things on this particular card. I'm noting that the card of accomplishment, that looks good on the surface, but then you look a little bit lower, there's a skull either carved into the cup or print or painted onto the cup. But either way, there's something about that accomplishment card which maybe you don't see right off the bat, but it's a trap, if you will, and that may not be something that you see easily. Take your time with this, slow down, seen in the Knight of Pentacles, and you'll be able to find your answers pretty quickly. The thing with water is that it can turn into a flash flood, if you will. It can easily turn into a very powerful river. And slowing down isn't something that water is always accustomed to. But slowing down and thinking about your decisions. Now, I'm getting this on top of the King of Cups. There was an opportunity that's good to be missed when it comes to this King of Cups. It's possible that turning back around and going back to this situation, whether it's a romantic partner, whether it's an abusive job situation, going back to this situation isn't a good one. Accepting the cup, the offering cup from this could be harmful, could be destructive. Again, we're getting so much cup energy. You know, with the Four of Cups and the Three of Cups together, I'm wondering if it wasn't a group of people at your work situation or in your family, in your partner's family, who were encouraging you to sit out opportunities that you might have really enjoyed. And because the Three of Cups in reverse lands on the Star in this case, I wonder if you can't go back and emotionally heal, mentally, spiritually heal from their destructive advice. These are people who don't like you, who don't give a shit about whether you're happy or not. In fact, they're kind of happy when you are unhappy. These people like to create drama in your life for their own entertainment. And seeing you feel like you have to sit out opportunities brought them pleasure. Interesting. You've got the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Be careful that you may feel like you really have to conserve your financial resources while you explore life outside of your job, life outside of your partner's, out of taking care of your partner, for instance. Be careful of this particular attitude and be sure to let your resources flow, because keeping them to yourself is a kind of stagnancy. There may not be the need to save as much cash as you feel like, or save as much material resources as you feel like you have to save. That might be a kind of security blanket I'm getting for you, and you're being encouraged to let go of the idea that you need that security blanket to begin with. Interesting. You've got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. That's them. The partner, the abusive job situation that you're leaving. So, yeah, especially don't double back, because there's some real karmic consequences headed the way of your old job, headed the way of your partner. Being cautious in even communicating with these people even a little bit is going to be to your best interest. And that might be what you don't see very clearly, because it lands above the Seven of Cups right here. You may not be able to see very clearly how badly things are going in the spaces behind you. Maybe because you're not meant to see, with all the cloud cover, for instance. It's also like, if you're not part of the situation, why would you care? But the thought that even like visiting the idea of going back, maybe because that goes back to your security blanket and the Four of Pentacles, that could bring those karmic consequences onto you as well. So be cautious of this. With the World, make sure that you leave. Make sure that it's in reverse, in the sense that you depart from the World and you jump into the Fool card, which is starting something new entirely. There's the idea that you could double back, and this card is warning you that there's bad stuff going on behind you and that there's no reason for you to double back. That might be a tempting choice, because again, the familiar is comfortable. Feeling the burdens melt off of you because you've arrived at your place. Not always. For some people, it's going to feel like the burden weighs heavier on them because Now you're on your own, either starting a business of your own, becoming self-employed, or breaking up with this partner. That's going to feel quite possibly disorienting. This 10 of Wands in reverse lands on top of the King of Cups in reverse and the 4 of Cups in reverse. This is going to feel like a not healing. It could not feel like a healing experience. The burdens will melt off of you eventually as you settle in emotionally, mentally, spiritually into your new life. Watch out for carrying this burden well past its expiration date. You've got the Empress in reverse. What's up with this? You don't see yourself as the Empress upright. It's in reverse. You don't see yourself this way as someone who deserves to be treated like a progenitor, like a creator, like a deeply powerful individual. There is no gender in tarot. I could be speaking to a person who identifies as and identifies more as a masculine individual than they do as a feminine. But this is encouraging you to get into the feminine aspects of yourself that have been abandoned because you were so involved with this King of Cups in reverse. It's quite possible that this King of Cups in reverse told you that you weren't attractive, that you would never find someone who would love you for who you were, who would love you because of how you looked, for instance, who would find you beautiful. And this might be a time of recovery in realizing how deeply beautiful you are inside and out. And this will take time. This is a major arcana card. This isn't going to be an overnight journey. The Empress in reverse lands on top of the Star about healing, and it lands also on top of the 3 of Cups. It may not have been just the King of Cups in reverse who was telling you how ugly, how undesirable you were, or if this was a job situation, that you couldn't be the ruler of your own country, so to speak. You couldn't be in charge of your own business. Maybe they tried to take the piss out of you, try to take the wind out of your sails and say, you're always going to need a job. You're not the kind of person to be independent. The Empress would thoroughly disagree. I should say that the Empress comes first before the Emperor. That the Empress is the flip side of the High Priestess. Oh, she is perfectly independent. The Emperor is her consort, not the other way around. And I wonder if with the 3 of Cups, if people haven't told you, you're always going to be dependent on somebody. You're always going to have to rely on somebody because you're not strong enough to do things on your own. This card asks you to think of yourself in a whole different light than maybe you've ever been accustomed to thinking of yourself. And I also note that we started this reading with the Queen of Cups, and the Queen of Cups is 25% of the Empress. The other 25% are the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords. That might mean that you're being asked to gather up all those other aspects, not just the Queen of Cups, but also of Pentacles, of Wands, of Swords. You're going to need to develop in how you take care of yourself, your material being, and how you take care of your material resources. You have the Knight of Pentacles here, which suggests to me that you are growing in this particular department. You're going to need to learn how to take action, create creative action, for instance. Listen to your intuition, found in the Queen of Wands. Also, you're going to need to learn how to speak up and think for yourself, seen in the Queen of Swords, if you aren't already doing that, of course. That might be a struggle for you to think your own thoughts, for instance, that aren't part of the group, part of destructive tendencies. It also means that you need to speak well of yourself when you think of the Queen of Swords. She is perfectly powerful and stands in her own power because she is confident, and that might take time to create confidence within yourself. But if you can embody this Empress energy and bring all the queens under her umbrella, you'll be an incredible person to be around. You'll have an incredible story to tell other people, and you'll be a great leader for people who aren't also in this energy, regardless of their gender. Folks, I hope that you have a great day, and I wish you a wonderful, speedy recovery process. Take care.